Welcome, heroes, to the May edition of Book Club. If you are in any of our groups, or actually, if you know me, I've probably talked about this book. This is by far the best book, uh, bar none, if you do any kind of prospecting in your business. And if you're a business owner, even if you're super high level, you're doing some type of prospecting, whether you're looking for investors, maybe you own some kind of medical practice and you need to get new patients in, or you want to increase the dollars that you're making per patient. Obviously, if you're in some kind of direct sales thing like real estate, this is your lifeblood. This is an amazing book. So I'm going to tell you right now, if you haven't gotten it, go to Audible, stop this video right now, go to Audible and download this book. And I've had multiple people tell me, I'm already reading a book. I've already got a book. I'll do this later. No, do it now, because you really only need to listen to 3 to 5 minutes of this book consistently every day, and it will totally change how you're doing things as far as making you way more effective in way less time and making more money. So I hope that's a good endorsement. I've sent it directly to Jeb Blunt, the author, because this book is just it's a beautiful thing. We're lucky enough that Jeb created an outline, a book club outline. So this is the outline that we're going to be following. It runs along with the book. And if you're in one of our accountability groups, you'll get this outline automatically. If not, contact us at jarvis@themorninghero.com and request this outline, and we'll be happy to have Jarvis send you a copy of it. It's just fantastic. So this is what we're going to be going over. It matches the chapters in the book: prospecting, cold calling, knowing your numbers, and so on. So we'll be doing this over the next 3 sessions. So this gives you sort of a look ahead in what we're going to be doing. So let's get right into the first couple of sections. First off, I talk to people all the time who analyze things to death, and I love this slide. Stop fighting the process. Prospecting is the process. So quit trying to come up with a new strategy, a new gimmick, a new way to get easy leads or whatever, and everybody's going to sell you, oh, this is the good lead list, or I can create the content for you that's going to bring people in. Everybody has some kind of method they will sell you. They'll tell you the best time of day. They'll tell you the best scripts. You know what? In the end, you just have to pick up the damn phone and call people. That's how you do it. So stop fighting it. You will save so much time. This is really led by what Jeb calls the 30-day rule. I will call it the 90-day rule because it makes more sense in my head. But the point being that any prospecting that you're doing right now, you will not see the fruits of it until 3 months from now. That's why prospecting is so important, because let's say you've got a lot of stuff going on. You've got a lot of patients or clients or deals going right now. You're going to probably be tempted to take your foot off the gas and focus on that stuff. The problem is 3 months from now, you're going to have nothing going on and you'll be wondering, where did all of my business go? Well, this is why. So it's a constant tension of creating the business. And then, of course, obviously, you have to do fulfillment or service your clients, but you need to continue doing your prospecting so that 3 months from now, you'll still have business. Inversely, if things are dead right now, don't get frustrated if you do a week, 2 weeks, a month of prospecting. You're a cold calling maniac and things aren't happening. That's normal. That's totally normal and expected. So you should expect that. And we're going to talk about tracking your numbers in a second. So you're going to hear me talk a lot about funnels. This is a very common term in sales. If you don't use it because maybe you're not in direct sales, this is just what we mean. And it's where you take anybody who could possibly be a client and you put them through a process where you prep them to either make a decision to use your services or your product or not. So it's going to go from a lot of people down and narrow, eliminate people out until you get to the people that are going to give you money. All right. Cold calling. Everybody hates it. Even Jeb in his book, and he is probably the master, said that, he doesn't always love it. But once you do it and once you get comfortable with it, the amount of success that you get from it, the difference between a low paid, poorly performing salesperson, a top performing salesperson, is day and night as far as income. I literally made some cold calls, I think about 3 or 4 months ago, to a specific lady named Cheryl, and I just signed paperwork with her today to list her property. So the system works. So you need to cold call, you need to fill your pipeline up so that you always have business going on. So remember I said I was going to talk about numbers. Again, if you know me, you know I love dashboards. I love analyzing numbers. And the reason why is it makes you more efficient. It gets you focused. If you are able to track all of your numbers, you're going to find out what your most effective sales generating activities are. So you might look, and maybe you had an idea of, oh, I'm going to do, and Dr. Wish gave me permission to share the story. She had heard that doing TikTok and those kind of social media reach outs of her business would be really good for business. So she created, they're fantastic videos. They show what she does. They show her analyzing people's different blood work, and it's really informative. And she was spending about 30 minutes a day creating these videos and putting content out. And when she first came up with the idea, I said, you know what, I support you doing it with the caveat that you are going to track how well it is, because I had a suspicion, and Jeb actually talks about this in his book, that the social media stuff, a lot of it is the shiny toy. It's fun. It's way more fun than just picking up the phone and calling people. But I had a suspicion it wasn't going to be as effective. So after the 3 months, Alicia and I sat down and we had a tough conversation and said, hey, how many new patients did you get from that work? And she ended up admitting, I don't think I got any. So looking back, if she had taken that half hour a day and instead called old patients, asked patients for referrals, written note cards, participated in some kind of group, as a naturopathic doctor, it doesn't really make sense for her to be directly cold calling random people, but she could start generating lists of people, maybe warm leads, warm referrals that she could be calling. And I guarantee you, if she had spent that same amount of time just doing those activities, note cards, whatever, she easily would have come up with one more patient, probably way more. So the difference between 0 and 1 is infinity. She would have had infinitely more business. So it's so important to know your numbers, because then you're going to know what is working and what isn't, where you should spend your time and money and where you shouldn't. All right, that's my sales pitch for this week. Please get into this book, start listening to it, start reading, dig deep, and I will see you next time.